better to not be naughty. Stay nice, lest you invoke the wrath of the mice.
Wow, I'm sure Dr. Seuss couldn't even come up with a rhyme that good. How do you do it, Raven?
I told you already. A lady never reveals her secrets, Mr. Bambi Man.
Right, my apologies. Wait, how am I able to talk to an audio file? Am I hearing voices in my head again?
We can never know what happened to your sanity, Brandon.
Duh! No witch in wardrobe! I need to stop eating cheesecake before bed. What was I even talking about to begin with?
It's never just a dream, my wimpy dear friend.
Okay, clearly when one's mind is going like this, there's only one logical thing to do. Watch an animated movie, a classic animated movie nonetheless, with talking mice. Don Bluth, please save me. Greetings, fellow cinema freaks, motion picture maniacs, and the like. I'm Brandon the Bambi Man, and welcome to Golden Ticket Reviews, where if it's classic or crap you see through it, I review it. And today is going to be a very special review because it's actually my very first requested review. Yeah, a fellow YouTubing friend of mine named Raven Fox actually requested me to review this classic animated movie, which may be classic to some people, but not so classic to others. Today we're going to be looking at the 1977 animated film from Disney, The Rescuers. Aslan requested to review. In the film, a bottle which happens to contain a plea for help from a little girl named Penny, surprisingly not the one from Inspector Gadget because that little girl doesn't need help, ends up making its way to the Rescue Aid Society, an organization of talking mice which is located in the basement of the United Nations building. That old story. Which is dedicated to the rescue and the well-being of anyone in need. It is now up to the brave mouse Miss Bianca, played by Ava Gabor of Green Acres fame, and her chosen partner, the shy janitor Bernard, played by Bob Newhart, to join together in order to, well, rescue this girl, if you couldn't tell by the title. Searching for some clues at Penny's home at the Morningside Orphanage in New York City, the two mice seem to discover that the girl has been kidnapped by an evil pawn shop owner named Madame Medusa, played by Geraldine Page, and her companion Mr. Snoops, played by Joe Flynn. On the back of Orville the albatross bird, who's played by the late Jim Jordan in his final role, Miss Bianca and Bernard must travel to the horrifying and evil-looking Devil's Bayou, where they learn a great and absolutely shocking truth. This innocent young girl is being forced down into a dangerous dark underground pirate's cave, where she must find something called the Devil's Eye, which is the world's largest diamond and is also Madame Medusa's deepest obsession. Now, before returning back home, Miss Bianca, Bernard, and Penny must combat against Madame Medusa's two awfully ferocious pet alligators, Brutus and Nero, with the help of two muskrats named Ellie Mae and Luke, surprisingly not from the Beverly Hillbillies, and Evinrude the Dragonfly, as well as survive those raging tides inside the horrible pirate's cave. The film itself is based on two specific children's novels, The Rescuers from 1959 and Miss Bianca from 1962, both written by famed author Marjorie Sharp. So the plot is about an orphan girl being captured by an evil woman with the help of a comic relief sidekick and talking animals who try to help her get out. Why does this sound so familiar? Yeah, the Tom and Jerry movie is a ripoff. As if there wasn't enough reason to hate that movie. First off, the animation itself, as you can tell by these clips I'm showing here, is a lot more sketchy than the more well-known classic Disney films of today. However, it does seem to have a lot of great classic charm to it. I mean, it's almost like these characters and backgrounds step right out of a book page and they really do translate well to the silver screen. The backgrounds themselves are extremely beautiful to look at, especially the ones you see in the opening song, and almost most of the wide shots as well are really beautiful. All the characters are also drawn with great appeal to them, and they each have their own unique personalities from an animation perspective alone, and they all have a different sort of style to them that makes them each stand out perfectly. Well, anyway, let's move on with the characters. The story, as well as the characters that are a part of that story, are all fun and memorable to be a part of and watch. And it's definitely intriguing to see how these, well, detective mice interact with the world around them. And the world created really keeps you interested in what is going on and helps to keep the audience invested in the success of Bernard and Miss Bianca's rescue mission for the little orphan Penny. In addition, it also helps that our main characters also have great chemistry, with Bernard being played by Newhart as the paranoid, nervous, and awkward figure, and Miss Bianca as the calm and nurturing type with less worries and strife than her safety-saged partner.
Well, why don't you take the shortcut through the zoo?
Gee, Miss Bianca, I don't know. I mean, it could be risky.
Oh, come on. Remember our pledge? Through storm and rain and dark of night.
Never fail to do what's right.
Also, am I the only one who finds that Bernard kind of resembles a certain celebrity?
3 blocks down and 4 blocks over. Here, sir. See, my co-agent insisted on packing her. Listen to this.
See, here I'm now by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos.
Medusa just has this great design with big, expressive, and evil eyes, which makes way for fun expressions, much like that of Cruella de Vil. And the way she's drawn actually kind of makes her look like something out of a French bordello, which I'm sure is the intent they were going for. And it's characters like this that I think help to pave the way for characters like Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. Also, I don't know about you guys, but to me, Mr. Snoops actually kind of reminds me of a certain internet reviewing personality, or movie reviewing personality, rather. No, not that one. No, not that one either. Both those guys are awesome, though. No, I'm talking about the one and only Shallot.
Double your refreshment. Double your enjoyment.
Also, the side characters that we come across are just as equally intriguing as our main characters, with Jim Jordan's role as the albatross pilot Orville, obviously namesaked after the famed Wright brother pilot, being played in a way that I'm pretty sure paved the way for roles like Dom DeLuise's Jeremy the Crow from Secret of NIMH, one of my favorite animated movies of all time, by the way, with utter hilarity and sincerity every single time that he is on screen. Evan wrote The Dragonfly utilizes silent comedy, much like that of Gromit of Wallace and Gromit fame, and Ellie Mae and Luke, the latter of which is played by recurring Disney classic voice actor Pat Buttram, are also pretty funny as they play out as characters as like a happier version of the couple from Men in Black whose life was ruined by Vincent D'Onofrio turning into an alien bug. Movies are weird. Though if I had to pick my favorite character, it would have to be Rufus the Cat, played by John McIntyre, who is just so lovingly endearing even though he only has the least amount of scenes out of anyone in the movie. Just with this one scene that occurs with which he has a nice and loving conversation with the young rescuee of the movie Penny, he exudes just so much love and wisdom that it could possibly make even the stingiest of movie watchers overflow with sweetness. And by that I mean it in a good way.
I'll bet my whiskers on it. But you got to believe it. Keep the faith, sweetheart. You see that bluebird?
Yes, I do.
Well, faith is a bluebird you see from afar. It's for real and as sure as the first evening star. You can't touch it or buy it or wrap it up tight, but it's there just the same, making things turn out right.
In fact, the only real character that I was annoyed with was Penny the rescuee, I mean, don't get me wrong, Michelle Stacy does a fine job playing her, especially in the emotional scenes, and especially that scene with Rufus I mentioned earlier, but she just has this sort of annoying qualities to her that kind of lessen her as a character.
Put me down, Brutus. Besides, I'm not scared of him. Thank you. We'll swipe it. I've always wanted to drive it.
Though to this girl's credit, I don't blame her for her performance at all. I mean, heck, a lot of the times in the 80s we happen to have a lot of annoying kid performances that I'm sure were only caused by bad direction. I mean, just take a look at some of these examples.
3 aces. I win. 2 more games. I have all your money. Ha ha ha.
I can bear it no longer. Goblin King, wherever you may be, take this child of mine far away from me.
Nessie? You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
Okay, I may have taken some liberties with that one. The music presented in this film is also a lot of fun and emotional when it needs to be. I mean, the musical score by Artie Butler alone is just awesomely energetic when it needs to be, heartwarming when it needs to be, and even manages to not overtake the film and let scenes often just play out for themselves. The opening song that plays during the credits actually sounds pretty nice and calmly relaxing, and the Rescue Aid Society song is just really fun and catchy.
R-E-S-C-U-E, Rescue Aid Society.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. Overall, the film is cute and a lot of fun in a lot of good ways. It has good action, fun chemistry between the main characters, and has really fun and charming animation for the time. It's no masterpiece by any means, but it's not supposed to be. I think it's just supposed to be a fun and action-packed and goofy mystery story with talking mice, with some emotional moments attached in there as well, and it delivers on that front. Now I know what a lot of you are probably thinking to yourselves. What do you think about the film Down Under, Brandon the Bambi Man? Well, I don't know, but can you hear that thunder? Okay, that may be just in my own head. I should probably get that looked at. Well, anyway. 1990 saw the release of The Rescuers Down Under, the long-awaited, maybe, sequel to the 1977 animated film. It's probably one of the most underrated sequels of all time in boasting beautiful animation, an epic story, a great villain by George C. Scott, and just most epic proposal ceremony ever captured on film. I highly recommend this to any Disney fan, and even if you're not a fan of the original, it's just a really fun film that is totally worth seeing just for the animation quality alone. In fact, you can buy both films in a double feature DVD set at your local video store. Definitely check both those out and see for yourself just what you've been missing out on. Until next time, I'm Brandon the Bambi Man saying take care of yourselves, guys, forget about your worries and your strife, and stay tuned for next time. Because next time we get together, we are going to be seeing if Jon Favreau's recipe can bring that wonderful story by Rudyard Kipling back to the big screen in a big way. Take us out, Mowgli!
Come on, Mowgli, let's be on our way.
But I'm helping Baloo get ready for hibernation.
Bears don't hibernate in a jungle.
Not full hibernation, but I nap a lot.
You get a line and I'll get a pole and we'll go down to the crawdad hole.
I won't tattletale on you.
I love you, Rufus.